Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski. Jay, it took us a hot minute to get together to be able to do this one, and at least we're making sure to record this one before the next Bears loss.
Yeah, so we're in slightly, we've probably reached indifference at this point, so I don't know how mad I would be.
Which is impressive.
I'm going to go on record. It is 10:04 a.m. on Sunday, October 1st. The Bears are going to win.
I'm kind of hoping you're wrong because I took Denver in Survivor.
All their problems are solved. Chase Claypool's out.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for jumping in. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, guess what? We got to 1,000 followers on YouTube. That's right, but it doesn't mean we can't get more. Check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. We want to congratulate Max and Lewis, who are the 2 random winners of the subscribers. Are going to win an I'm Fat Podcast t-shirt and a $100 gift card to Nick and Ivy Brewing. More on them coming up in a little bit. They've got a really nice autumnal beer for you, so we're going to get to that. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media as well. Are you snickering because I said autumnal?
Yeah, and the way you said autumnal.
I like that word. Autumnal is a good word.
It is. It almost like tumbles out of your mouth.
It does. Tumble out of your mouth. Social media at I'm Fat Pod. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't do Threads anymore because it's dead. We have the I'm Fat Podcast fans page and our merch shop, I'mFatMerch.com, and of course Patreon and all those fun things. If you want to kick in a few bucks, feel free. There's also a link to do that right in the description of this here podcast. All right, let's get started, Rick. Why didn't we do a show last week, aside from crazy schedules beginning for both of us?
Because we decided to meet up.
Yes.
So we were for the Bears game, because probably partially because we knew it was going to be terrible,
yes.
and it was just like a day that worked out. We went to St. Charles. I made the medium-sized venture. You made the long venture out to St. Charles to hang out at Sam's sister and brother-in-law's place, and they hosted us, and they're incredible hosts, and everything was fantastic, and they went all out on the food, which is good because the Bears went all out on the game not mattering, and us being able to pay attention to, conversation and each other more than the Bears for a vast majority of the game.
Yeah, that was nice. I appreciated the fact that I didn't have to focus on Taylor Swift's featuring the NFL.
Yeah, seriously. Yes. I think I might have hit my breaking point, at least in terms of caring this week. I'm not mad at it, but I just don't care anymore. Good.
I agree.
They're dating. Good for them.
Hey, man, I like that he just shot his shot.
Yes.
It was like, hey, what do I have to lose? She says no. Okay, I'm still Travis Kelce. She says yes. ...
We're cooking with gas.
Yeah, exactly. So good for him, man.
So I have. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
I have a lot of where things are from, because they thought ahead enough of let's get some of our favorite things, especially for apps, from different places in St. Charles, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Really thoughtful. What was your favorite thing that you ate?
Oh boy, that's really hard to say because everything was really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, I think the cornbread was my favorite.
Yes. And it was a Bandera cornbread. I'll act like I know what that means, with green chilies.
Yes.
And then for me, the kicker with it too, the consistency was good. It was cornbread that wasn't, I can't even say it wasn't too dry. It just wasn't dry.
It wasn't dry at all. Yeah.
That part was fantastic. And then you add on top the that hot honey sauce, or not hot sauce, but the hot honey that they had,
Oh yeah.
that took it to the next level.
So that picture on your YouTube it's before it cooked. We did a bad job at taking pictures at this party.
Yes. And by that,
I
we mean we literally took none.
I texted Sam and said, "Hey, the two fat morons at your party who host a food podcast forgot to take pictures of any of the food. So whatever you have, please send it over." So we have a couple pictures of the things, but man, that cornbread was killer.
It really was. Like, I think pretty much everybody had multiple slices of that. It was, especially with everything else, it felt like something that brought a lot of it together. And like, I love, and I know we've talked about this, when there's kind of a main course ish, but it's very much just like grab a little of this, grab a little of this, and just like everybody chooses their own food adventure.
Yes.
And that was what this was. I think for me, and it's wild because it contains something I generally do not like, those chicken bacon ranch sliders that Steve made were awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, and those were just like, I think it was a recipe off of like Instagram or something, or like that was the inspiration for them. But to like have them for a variety for everybody's food preferences was good. So that way, like, everybody was happy, everybody could have them, but they all tasted incredible. And I think, again, like, I don't know if the glaze on top was that hot honey, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't, because that was like the entire thing. It was one of those sliders that has a bunch of different flavors and is a total mess, but 1,000% worth it.
Yeah, I like the way he made it too, where he put it like on a cookie pan as like just a big, I just like split a whole thing of little rolls and then just laid it all out. And then as it came out, everything got cut. That was great. And the ranch was in there and it was like a nice addition. It wasn't overwhelming.
Yes.
You know, I can have ranch when it's not like the featured item on the food.
Agree. That's like probably like me with my, oh my God, it's been so long since I've been to Taco Bell that I completely forgot the name of my thing that I get.
Oh, the, chalupa, right? The crunchy chicken chalupa? No,
it's, oh my God.
The goddamn caramel apple empanada?
No, I know, that was what popped into my head first. Holy
Cheesy
crap.
gordita crunch.
Thank you. The cheesy gordita crunch has
That's
like
it.
a ranch-ish sauce in it, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's because it's not the featured thing of it. Wow, I'm a bad person for forgetting.
Well,
my
your Taco Bell's never
order.
open. How can your
true.
absence makes the heart grow more forgetful?
Yeah, apparently. Okay. So I want to get to a couple of the things that were from places in St. Charles that people could
please
get
do.
if they want.
Yeah.
The salsas, like the mango and jalapeno salsa from La Mesa, Modern Mexican, 51 South 1st Street in St. Charles.
Spanish for the table.
Were, dude. Those
I know that because Jose Mesa is Joe Table.
Yes, he is. Joe Table. I forgot about that. I remember at the end her being like, that man's name is Joe Table. We're idiots. So's Herb.
Well, that's a given.
So yeah, facts. And then the spicy feta dip, which, like, feta generally not my thing, but like especially like that spicy feta dip is from Just Kebabs, 1825 West Main Street in St. Charles. Like, if these are just apps that are a sign of what the rest of the menu is like, then these are places that should be visited by people if you have not gone already.
Yeah, and so we've talked about this a lot. Like, I've suddenly started just trying whatever's out, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. And years ago, I would have just probably passed on the spicy feta dip.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I didn't, because it was damn good. And I like feta in stuff, like if it's in a salad or if it's like in whatever, it adds a nice little like different taste.
It's like ranch that way. It can't be the main thing.
Yeah, and it's also the way some people use blue cheese, where it's like a complimentary thing. And feta is much less offensive than, I like blue cheese sometimes, but feta is much less offensive than blue cheese. But this is really good. I was surprised how much I like that.
Yeah, same here. And especially like having that off the top with those salsas like right next to each other, that was
Yeah.
like a great way to start off eating. And then the way we finished eating,
Yeah.
there were two items. Am I biased because Sam made them? Sure.
No, you're not.
But they
They're
are also very good. So look at, if you're watching on the YouTubes, look at with wonderment at the chocolate chip cookie cheesecake. I don't know if you'd almost call that a brownie in terms of
I would call that a blondie.
a blondie.
Yeah.
That's true. That was awesome.
Yes.
Like the inside was just that right slightly undercooked, so you get that like good like gooey cookie thing going on, and then with that cheesecake too. Oh, but the outside was still like you would get some crunch off of the edge.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was great. I love. There's nothing more to say. I mean, it is cookie cheesecake blondies. Like, what more do you need to know?
Yes.
And then I was also a big fan of the very simple dessert, which always is a crowd pleaser. Rice Krispie treats. These were great, and then there were little candy pieces like thrown into it.
Yep. Yeah. Fantastic. And I think that was somewhat inspired by when we went to the party for Lawrence before. Maggie Hendricks made really, really good Rice Krispie treats too. So that was, shocking because, Maggie's a great baker. So overall, a wonderful, a good day because we all got to hang out, and it's again having like people from different parts of your life come together and be able to see each other and hang out, which is cool. The Bears sucked, but the food was great.
Well, I'll say too, like Hope and I think you know this about us. We have our friends, and we're not like, let's go just hang out with random people kind of people.
Right.
Like we want to be with our select group of friends. And we love you and Sam, but Shannon and Steve are great too. Like from the moment we walked in, just felt completely comfortable, completely welcomed. I didn't feel like I was like tiptoeing around the house or like,
Right.
I just felt really relaxed in myself there. So it was great. I hope we can get to do that more often. And they're like, next time we'll come to you. I'm like, no, let's stay here because we're not going to be able to cook anything as good as you did. And your house is way nicer than mine. So let's just stick with St. Charles. I love a road trip. We actually went from, Addie had slept over the night before at my sister-in-law's in Bolingbrook. So we went from Homewood to Bolingbrook to St. Charles. But on the way home, it was an hour door to door. So it wasn't terrible. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. And I brought, moving into my first topic.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, we had my cousin Katie's 50th birthday. This was, that was last weekend. And my cousin Gary had these these seltzers I'd never seen before. They're called Happy Dad.
Oh, yeah.
I had never seen these before. Oh, that's not Happy Dad.
That's,
There it is.
Spoilers.
Okay. So I'd never seen these before. My cousin Gary, who was a former Green Beret, he's a Chicago police officer. He's a giant man. Just had 3 in his hand at once. I'm like, well, those must be good.
Yeah,
right. They're Happy Dad seltzers. They're in a white. They're very plain. They're in a white can with like a very basic red and blue logo. It comes in a number of flavors. The only one I've tried so far is the fruit punch, and let me tell you, this is awesome. You know me, Rick. I'm not a big drinker. And we went to Brian and Sarah's 2 nights ago, and then when I came home from the Hawks game last night, they were both over. And I think in the last 2 days, I've had like 6 of these things, and I just don't drink like that. I just don't. Like I'll have a beer or 2 or a cocktail or 2, and then I usually switch to Diet Coke or water or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I was pounding these Happy Dads. They were awesome. So I'm told
That's
my
a
other
nice drop.
Exactly. I was pounding these Happy Dads, and they were no longer happy. My cousin Mike said that the grape ones are great. They do sell a variety pack that has like a lemon lime. So I'm gonna probably get the variety pack next, and then I know there's one called Happy Mom that's raspberry.
Okay.
So maybe I know you're not the biggest seltzer guy in the world, but if you see the Happy Dad raspberry, that might be right up your alley.
Yeah, we've been rolling with Topo Chicos lately. It's either pretty much High Noons or Topo Chicos, and we're good.
The Topo Chicos are good. The problem with those are to like COVID summer. I discovered those, and I drank so many of them that I'm kind of sick of them now.
Yep. Yeah, you colleged it.
Yeah, I did. Yes, and High Noons are I like High Noons a lot. Those are good. But I think the Happy Dad has moved into my favorite of the seltzers.
Nice.
But I'm sure I will drink myself weary of those too. So it's good stuff. And speaking of beer, if you want to head out to Lockport, and you should, because Lockport's really cool. If you've never been to Lockport, it's like driving to a time machine. Downtown Lockport is so cool, and the highlight for me is Nick and Ivy Brewing Company, 1026 South State Street. We've been telling you about them for months. Paul and Chrissy own the place. Paul's always behind the bar with his sweat rag, ready for some good conversation, to sling you some good beers. You're going to walk in there, and the games are going to be on. If you went to Nick and Ivy on Sunday, every football game was going to be on. You could watch the Sox compete for their 101st loss. Yeah. And the Cubs completely choke away the season. And the Bears do whatever they're going to do against the Broncos.
You know what they're going to do? Force
Edit
people to
final
drink
score
more.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
But they have announced a new beer, autumnal. Said it again. Happy Hour Autumn Sour is a tart apple sour ale coming in at 5.9 alcohol. It's delicious. It's refreshing. It is tart. That sounds like a reason you and I need to meet.
100%. That is right up my alley.
Well, you know what's great, Rick? Now that the Hawks are in season,
Yes.
I have like full weekdays off, including
you.
Monday. I'm off on Monday. So perhaps we can meet up and go to Taco Heaven and grab some Nick and Ivy. That'd be fun. We can discuss this off the air. But go check out our friends at Nick and Ivy Brewing. Again, 1026 South State Street. Go try for yourself, because I want one of these so badly. The Happy Hour Autumn Sour. Ooh, that sounds like exactly what I want right now.
Yeah.
And if I was going to skip football for a pumpkin patch, that's what I would get at the pumpkin patch. But who would do such a thing? More on that next week. Follow them on social media, Nick and Ivy Brewing. Their website is nickivybrewing.com. That's Nikivy brewing.com. Go visit Paul and Chrissy at Nick and Ivy, because I know I'm going to very, very soon.
So with thinking about that beer, I cannot wait. And I'm sure they're already in. Actually, I'd be floored if they're not already in the stores. I'm just thinking about the caramel apple pops.
Oh, they have to be out. They have to be. Dude,
I just
there's
haven't.
like Christmas stuff is out already.
Ugh.
We went to the Target yesterday, and we saw, Waterloo, the brand Waterloo. They have like a spiced apple Waterloo,
Okay.
and then they had like a winter cranberry already. Like, come on, 87 degrees out. Who's got time
high of 81 today. It's weird. At least like where I'm at, it's like high of 81 literally for the next like 4 days. I'm like,
Yesterday was hot.
yes, it should be.
I wore jeans to work, and I cursed myself.
So
what are you
I
doing, you jackass?
So I had to mow the lawn, and like I had my windows, but it was to the point where it was still warm enough where once it hit like 12:30, I was like, too warm. I'll come back out later. So I went back out at like 4:30 when it started to cool down a little bit and the sun started going down a little bit. And that was good. Like I was still a sweaty mess because I was literally doing anything.
Yeah, you're moving.
Yeah, I was moving, which means I'm sweating.
Yes.
And still. But it was that warm. It's not good. It shouldn't be this way.
I agree. It's bullshit. All right. So speaking of keeping cool, and I'm gonna pre-apologize about this because I had to do the same thing when I talked about my mattress and my pillow. Because this brand is relentlessly social media-ish.
Okay.
So be warned, if you search for this thing, it's going to be on your timeline.
Yeah.
But highly recommended. I got the Rest Comforter. This is a cooling comforter. And I always have the problem of I am an incredibly hot sleeper, but I need weight on me to sleep. So I can't just be like, I'm just going to wear the sheet. I have to have like a heaviness on my shoulders to sleep well. So while the rest comforter is not a weighted blanket by any means, it is cool. Like you touch it and it's cold, and it has a nice weight to it. It's not cheap. I got it for, I think I got it for like 120, which is a significant sale. I think it's like 180 normally, but I thought I spend a third of my life in bed. I'm heading into the season of like my weird sleep schedule, like up in mornings, up late at night, and sleep is like essential. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to splurge on this thing. And I'm glad I did. I will say it doesn't stay cold all night, but if you flip it over a couple times during the course of the night, you're going to get the cold side again. It's the same as your pillow, right? But there is a definite cool touch to the rest comforter. So again, this is not an ad. It's something I bought for myself that I was trying to find a solution for. And I'm really happy with it. Hope likes it too. She's like, oh, I like when I like roll closer to you and I can feel the coolness on me. It's like really refreshing. So it's nice. And having a fan on in the room helps keep the other side cool. So when you flip it, but it's so if you're looking for a cooling blanket, again, it's an investment. I know they have a really solid return policy. Like you get a 30-day, like no questions asked trial, and then you can just return it if you don't like it. And I was like, maybe this is expensive. I have to really like this to keep it, was kind of my mindset. Yeah. And after 2 nights, I like threw the bag away and I'm like, I'm definitely keeping this. So
nice. If
you're a hot sleeper and you need that weighted element like I do, the rest comforter is nice. I'm sorry if your timeline gets overwhelmed. That's how I found it. It kept popping up in my feed. So I'm like, fine, I'll check it out finally. And I'm glad I did because it's a high quality product.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a high quality product that is no longer available.
Oh, I know. I feel so bad for you here.
And
this is my worst nightmare, Rick.
It shook me to my core because I kind of figured they weren't doing great. But to think of West Chicago without Pal Joey's it's rough because Pal Joey's permanently closed.
Yeah.
I found out when I was at my mom's one day and she's like, I don't feel like cooking anything. Why don't we just order Pal Joey's? Cool. It's been a standby for us for a couple decades.
Yeah.
At least. So my mom calls and I don't hear her talking. And I'm like, usually a place, even if it's busy, it's like 3 rings and they'll throw you on hold. Keeps ringing. And then a recorded message that says the West Chicago location has permanently closed.
Ugh.
It was there for, I want to say, about 50 years that Pal Joey's was in West Chicago. It was my favorite pizza place, bar none. Like, just regardless of style, whatever. Like, they're what they're known for is their pan. And it just sucks because when we talk about what are the most important elements to make a good pizza, the sauce at Pal Joey's. I keep saying in West Chicago because there is a Batavia location, but it's just one of those things where the second location is just missing something. It's not bad by any stretch. Like, it's enough to scratch the itch, but it's not exactly the same. So there's something missing there. But the sauce, there's a little bit of it's not a bland sauce. Like, there's a little something extra that spices up that sauce that I feel like that's where Batavia lacks a little bit, where it's very close to the same, but not quite. So I don't know if it's all the same ingredients, but not the right amounts of each or what. But for me, it just sucks because it's not just a place that, like, I would literally, if I was working in Aurora, I would take a longer way home through West Chicago to pick up Pal Joey's, drive the 20-25 minutes home to my place, and even though the pizza still wouldn't be 100% fresh because it's been in the car for 20 minutes, it was still fantastic when I got home. So to not have that, it's literally there were 2 places that were our places we would always go. And one went away a long time ago, and that was Happy House, which was a Vienna beef stand, and then now Pal Joey's. So there's other pizza options around there, but nothing is good. And it's just like when a place has been like your place for that long, it just sucks.
Yeah. And do you have any idea what happened? Was it just like, was business not good, or did they just say we've had a nice run? Like, what was any indication?
It was a little weird because it was abrupt too.
Okay.
So, I don't know if there was like a financial thing where it was just like they tried to run until they just weren't allowed to anymore or what, because once they started doing, you get 10% off if you use cash.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's probably not a great sign.
Yeah.
That they're having to prioritize that enough. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. I mean, I still thought there were certain days where you would see a lot of people, but it was few and far between. The food was always good, even outside of the pizza. Like, it was just like classic Italian place that you would think of for that. But I guess it's not. So even when I was in high school and they would get pizza for like, you know, all the high school kids or whatever in band, you figure like, it's okay. Get your Pizza Hut, your, you know, whatever the cheapest stuff is.
Yeah.
But my band director made a point. He's like, no, we get Pal Joey's around here because he loved Pal Joey's. So he would, with whatever, you know, however he had to do it, he got Pal Joey's to be the pizza when the entire band would get it. So we got like actually high quality pizza for like band functions.
That's great. That sucks, man. Like, that's my biggest fear is like, and so many of the places that I grew up with are gone. Like,
Yeah.
I've talked about Junior's Hot Dogs and like even back in the day, Reds in Mount Greenwood or Beverly. I know people get mad, but it's the same thing. You know, and I'm so glad like Rosangeles is thriving. Like, thank God they're expanding, they're growing. The daughter Leia has taken over the operations for her parents. Cause I know a lot of places are like, hey, I've been running this place since I've been 25 and I'm 80 now and I'm done. And I have no one to take it over and I don't want to give it to someone who's going to ruin the name. So I'm just done. It's over.
Yeah.
I get that, but like seriously, I think about that all the time. Maybe it's my Roman Empire. Rosangeles closing as my Roman Empire. Like, I just don't want to, I obsess about it because you're right. And I think anytime you've got a place like that in your life, be it pizza or whatever, it's also like, it's not just the loss of the food, it's the loss of like all the memories you have at that place. Like you just said, like you went with your parents all the time and the band, and like there's meaningful moments of your life are tied into that, you know, and that sucks. You think you mentioned it? Did you mention to me at the party or on the podcast last time that you thought they might be
at the party? I said that was like right when I had found out.
Yeah. Ugh, that blows. I'm sorry.
R.I.P. Pal Joey's. The good one.
Dude, I'm like legitimately upset for you.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's so bad. That's brutal.
There's not enough things like in West Chicago to be like positive about. And like that was one of the things where people from, you know, like all the other towns that would turn their nose up at West Chicago would be like, oh yeah, Pal Joey's. Yes, you get Pal Joey's. You go to West Chicago for Pal Joey's. Like, I don't know how the Batavia one is doing, but like I've been, and some people claim it's the same, but it's not.
Yeah, and you would know.
It's not.
Right? Like you've been going your whole life, you know it's not the same. I
and
find
it's not
the same
just like
thing.
a nostalgia thing. It's, no, there's something different. I'm pretty sure it's the sauce that is just slightly askew. That it doesn't make it bad. It's still good. Like, I would still recommend people go to the Batavia location, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is like ovens, Age of Ovens, which is my favorite mobile game.
Yeah.
It's a mobile game, but it doesn't play anything like the ad. It's a completely different game than the ad.
Yes.
Age of Ovens, yeah. Well, that's the same phenomenon with Aurelios.
Yeah.
Is there's a million Aurelios, but there's none like the Homewood one.
Yep.
Like the Homewood one is just different. And this week, I think I told you before that I don't love their sausage at Aurelio's.
Right.
And I've been getting their spinach, tomato, and garlic has been my go-to. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago I tried an Italian beef with giardiniera pizza from Baracco's. So the other night when we were at Brian and Sarah's, Brian's like, do we want to order pizza? I said, yes, we do. So I got that from Aurelio's. Italian beef with hot jardinere, and I ordered it well done in the old oven.
Nice.
Dude, this is the new one for me.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was the best Aurelio's I've ever had. Like, it wasn't even, it was like this, and then everything else was 10 miles behind it.
Wow.
It was incredible. And I did make sure I said the old oven, and maybe they see that, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, oven.
Yeah.
You know, like with the tag is still on this oven, we'll just like,
Sure.
Sure, buddy, whatever you say. But man, it was great. And like the saltiness of the beef and the texture of the beef mixed with the texture of the jardinere. Oh, and it was legitimately spicy, but not like absurdly hot.
Sure.
It was excellent. I'm actually thinking about like, should I order myself a small Italian beef and jardinere for the Bears game just to help me get through it? I'm
Yes.
considering it. It was so damn good.
Yes.
So I'm happy because I've been kind of like bummed about the pizza selections in Homewood. There's a place we used to go, and I'm still not going to name them because I like them overall, but I told you about that place where they screwed up my order, and then they made me bring it back, and then made me wait for the new one, and then would not give me any money back or even offer me like a free soft drink while I waited for them to make the new pizza.
Yeah, that's bad.
So I honestly have not been back there since then. And Aurelio's, I'm always like, okay, it's fine. I like it, but I don't love it. It's not something I look forward to.
Sure.
This, I'm now craving. So I think I'm going to start becoming way more frequent at the Aurelio's in Homewood, which is good. I'm happy about it because it's like, I always felt weird. Like, why don't I love this like everybody else does? It's not what I grew up with, but still, even when I had Aurelio's as a kid from other locations, it was never my favorite.
Yeah.
But this one, this particular Italian beef with hot jardinere, hot damn, it was freaking perfect.
Nice.
So very excited.
So it's funny you mentioned it that way because in mine and Sam's search for our pizza place, like around her place in Hanover Park, we got a contender. I don't know that it's like going to be flat out it, but Little Sicily Pizzeria, 1409 West Schaumburg Road in Schaumburg is really good. Like, just when you think tavern style pizza, it's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So like, and I wouldn't say any part of the pizza was extraordinary, but it was all really good. And then one thing that
This is the one you sent me, right?
yes, it is the one I sent you. One thing we did try and like, look at that. That's exactly what you want.
That looks real good.
Like you got a couple bubbles on there too. Like you got
key.
the crust.
I like the internal bubble. They're usually crust bubbles, but the internal bubbles are clutch.
Yeah. So it was exactly what we wanted. And then the thing that we did to top it off was put on that JP Graziano mild jardinere seasoning.
Ooh.
That like, it went from like, this is good. Like, this is really solid. I would be very happy with having this at any point when we're like, we want pizza, to, oh, now this is a thing when you throw on that seasoning.
Yes, that seasoning is so good and so versatile. Damn.
It fit perfectly with that pizza. So like, that was really cool. And in the strip Mulliton, it's right next to a place that's called Sprinkles. And it's just like an ice cream, like create your own sundae type place.
Yeah, that can't be bad. Nothing called sprinkles is bad.
Right. And then from the moment I was there, I had the old, the commercial with, like the, oh my God, why am I, the ice cream, was it the French vanilla, Rocky Road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough, scoop, there it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was like a Geico ad, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what I couldn't
Yeah, I
remember.
think
Like
so,
I knew
yeah.
it was like one of those insurance companies, and I just like couldn't remember which one. Oh, but yeah, so I've had that stuck in my head for damn near a week at this point. but the pizza at Little Sicily is good.
All right. That looks really good. I'm glad you found a new place. Hopefully you like it enough where it fills the void in your artery clogged heart.
Yes.
That Pelage always leaves behind. Dude, that's so brutal.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, the journey begins, Rick. Journey for a new pizza spot begins.
But Jay, you know where else I could go for pizza, and I'm probably just overthinking it?
Frato's Pizza.
Frato's. Yep.
Yeah, you should go to Frato's at 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg, because you can get your standard sausage pizza, thin crust, whatever, pepperoni, get a thicker crust, do that, or you can get the I'm Fat pizza and really do it up. But it's not just pizza at Frato's. It's burgers, it's tendies, it's Cajun bites, it's mozzarella sticks that make you feel inadequate as a man. There's all sorts of awesome stuff at Frato's, including an RC machine, so you know it's good. They even have knockoff Green River. It's called like St. Patty's or something. I don't know. I was like, I didn't know they made a generic Green River. I thought Green River was generic. Yeah, I thought Green River was generic enough, but apparently not. They've got a St. Patty's green pop drink at Frato's, but it's awesome. Everything there is great. If you're eating healthy, that's your thing for some reason. They've got your options there too with salads and low carb options.
And meal plans.
And meal plans, yes. Whatever you're into food wise, Frato's has it for you. And keep in mind, FratosBakery.com got an anniversary coming up, parents' birthday. Want to show some appreciation for a teacher or a boss or whatever. Imagine. Go to FratosBakery.com, order those 2-pound boxes of cookies or brownies. They all come individually wrapped, each item, so you don't have to plow through 2 pounds before they all, air quotes, go bad. I think stale desserts are delicious, but that's just me. FratosBakery.com for that. But if you want to save on your online order at FratosPizza.com, use that code I'm Fat. You'll save 10% every time you place an online order at FratosPizza.com. Give them both a follow on Instagram at Fratos Pizza, at Fratos Bakery, and see for yourself everything we're talking about. It is absolutely outstanding stuff. I have a couple little things before we get to Ask a Fat. I know you got a couple things too. Chipotle has brought back the carne asada.
Okay.
Which I had the first time, and I was like, I don't get. It's not like hugely different for me than the steak.
Okay.
And I'll say that time I got it in a burrito. This time I got it in 3 crunchy tacos, and it was much better. So maybe it could be a vehicular issue where you don't notice it so much in the burrito, but you notice it more in the taco. But I will say, if you tried the carne asada the first time and were kind of meh about it, give it another chance this time. Because I was sort of like, I don't know. I'll just try it. I just want to try it. I honestly did it to talk about it on the pod. And I'm glad I did. It was excellent. So there's that.
So
and
it
then
needed a different autumnal vehicle.
yes, I think it did. Yes. And then just a random story. I took my mom to the doctor, and then I met my parents there, and then I had to leave to get to work. So drove through at the McDonald's on 110th and Southwest Highway. And sometimes when I see the drive-through is long, I go into the mobile order and just order on my phone. And so this kid comes out, and he's, gives me my thing. He's like, "Would you like any condiments?" And he had like a purse. Like it was a bag of condiments. So it was like a mesh bag with different compartments. It was like ketchup, jelly, barbecue, sweet and sour. I'm like, ooh, I'll have one of those. I'll have one of those. This should be a permanent thing. Yes,
that's great.
McDonald's. Give this young man a promotion for his go-gettingness. I don't know if that's a word. Sure. And give every employee a condiment satchel. Indiana Jones wears one. It was awesome. I could just pick and choose whatever I wanted out of that bag.
That's funny.
Because here's my frustration.
Idea.
It's a great idea. And my frustration with McDonald's is every now and again, I want my chicken McNuggets with honey. Like honey secreted by a bee. Honey. Right?
Yes.
Every time I order honey, they bring out honey mustard. Every time. I don't want honey mustard. I want honey. And they've got those little packets of honey. Right. I assume I don't know what else they're there for. Maybe for tea? Probably for tea, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably for tea.
But I've had it on my chicken McNuggets many times, and it's great. And they always bring the wrong thing. So the little condiment satchel was very helpful. I said, I want honey. Give me some honey. Oh, okay, sure. Of course. And I got what I wanted. So congrats on the condiment satchel, McDonald's. I'm happy. Good job. I liked it.
Okay. On the topic of...
You seem very
I don't
excited
know.
about that story. Okay.
No, I was, but I was like, I got through my excitedness during the story.
No, your
Like,
response
that
is
makes a ton
appropriate.
of sense.
Your response is appropriate. It was not as exciting as I told it to be. But I was just like,
No, that's great. Like, I'm almost disappointed because I was almost like imagining it like the little like change machines that everybody used to have. Change machine on the belt when when change was more relevant. Yeah,
they still have that in the Metro.
But have that with condiments.
That'd be nice. Little. Here's my barbecue sauce belt.
Yeah,
You get one of those.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's like Dan McNeil's mustard belt.
I was just going to say, imagine getting a mustard belt instead.
I don't think the mustard belt was real.
No.
Okay, yeah. But if it was,
don't
that's even
think.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a conceptual, like a Batman sort of a thing.
Yes. Like what this podcast started as. It was all conceptual. It was a bit until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
So I tried a different chicken place that I've been meaning to try. In the Yorktown Mall, there's a place called Burnin. And there's only like a handful of locations nationwide, and this is the only one east of the Mississippi. So
No kidding.
I find that interesting. I was too dumb and too hungry to take a picture of the chicken before it was consumed. But what I like about, and if you're watching on YouTube, at the bottom of the screen, it's kind of tough to see, but like they give you an idea of each level of spice, where it's like, okay, this is the equivalent to this. Like the one I got was the equivalent to a jalapeno level. I think it was like it was like the medium of it, like the third of 5 levels.
Yeah.
And the quality of the chicken, very good. The fries were, I think, fried twice. So you get that. You get a slice of Texas toast with it. And it says it's like Nashville chicken, which it is mostly, but there is a hint of a little Asian influence there.
Oh, interesting.
Because they had some samples out, and the samples were soy garlic. And even though obviously I've said many times I'm not big on soy, I wanted to try it anyway. And it was like much more garlic forward, soy in the back, almost more as just like, let's give a salt element.
Okay.
And it was really good. So I just got strips for this. First time there, a strip combo was perfectly fine. It packs some heat. So like when you get it, like realize it's not quite to the fry the coop level of like, just be careful.
Yeah.
But like when it says it's a certain level, it's a true version of it. It's not like a main fast food chain, which dumbs everything down a little bit. But like if you're at Yorktown, you're shopping for the holidays, that type of thing, or whatever, or you're in that area around Lombard, that is a really nice option. And just that food court has a lot of options. So it's Burnin is right next door to Billy Goat.
Okay. I saw
So there's
Burnin' at Blues Fest. Very good.
Yeah. Were they playing Smash Mouth covers? Too soon?
Oh, too soon. Definitely too soon.
But yeah, so that I'm trying to think of what all is in. There's, I want to say 3 or 4 different Asian food varietals in there. There's a sushi place. There's Panda, Sarku, something else that I didn't really register with me. There was cilantro, Sabaro. So they had, what is that? I think I tried before for the podcast. It was like Charlie's, it was like Philly cheesesteak. Like that place is good. So there's like a lot of solid options in that food court at Yorktown, along with all the other places that are like around it.
Nice. That sounds good. I will try that. You said Charlie, and I forgot to load the bacon report, so we'll just add it in post.
Nice.
Or I could do it in real time during the show. If that could be fun too.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Nothing. One more thing I want to point out. We've talked a lot about how much we love the Patio.
Yes.
And how it is just like such a go-to great spot for everything. Hope always gets like a grilled chicken sandwich there. And for whatever reason, like the last time I was there, I just was not feeling, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling barbecue for whatever reason. Like I didn't want pulled pork. I didn't want.
Were you sick?
No. I don't know. My mood was just different. I didn't want chicken tenders, which is kind of the other backup thing I get there, because they are really good. So I got a barbecue chicken sandwich. It was barbecue, bacon, and grilled chicken. And my fear with grilled chicken is always that it's going to be dry.
Yes.
And it's not going to have a lot of flavor. And it's just going to be overall meh. I have a picture here that I'm going to share on the YouTubes. It's not the best picture. Like, it doesn't illustrate how good this was because there's so much cheese on it. And there's, it's Monterey Jack cheese. So much cheese. I know, bacon, and under all that is grilled chicken. But man, it was terrific. And the Patio, I don't know why, it's so excellent every time.
Yes.
And it's a place that I think everyone in Chicagoland has been to, right? But no one speaks about the Patio with the pride they do about Portillo's or whatever else.
It should be much more revered than it is.
And maybe it's just number of locations.
Maybe.
And maybe it's the fact that sometimes when people talk barbecue, they want it to be it has to be an authentic kind of a deal, right? So I could see the hesitance of saying that there are only 6: Aurora, Bolingbrook, Bridgeview, Orland Park, Lombard, and Darien. Those are the 6 patios. I'll tell you, the experience from location to location is identical.
Yes, it is.
The food's the same every time. They have a bar if you want to grab a beer with your food. The service is outstanding. The prices are completely reasonable for the food you're getting.
The menu is gigantic, and you would think with it being that big that there would be some slippage in a certain area, but I've had stuff from different areas of the menu. It's one of the few places that I totally trust to give me onion rings.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And the burgers are good and the fries are great, and they've got you sit down at your table and they've got spicy barbecue sauce and regular it's a great spot. I wish people recognize the Patio more, and maybe it has to do with just being in the South and Western burbs, so it doesn't get the attention of, I feel like food people who cover food for a living are very north side focused.
Yes.
Northwest burbs sort of thing.
Sure.
It'll be the city and it'll be north of the city and the burbs surrounding it. That's really all you get coverage of. That could play a role. But if you ever drive by a Patio and you've never been, or if you've been and just have forgotten how good it is, it's not changed in my lifetime. It's been the same place I've been going since I was a kid. It's great. The ribs are great. I can't recommend it more. The Patio is awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whenever I choose it, I have never felt I really wasn't feeling this today. Once I have it, it's yes, this was the choice.
And whatever your taste is, they're going to have it. So if you're, Hope wants a chicken sandwich and I want a pulled pork or whatever, we're each going to be happy with what we get. And it scratches everybody's itch. And if you really can't decide, their chicken tenders are incredible. They're really freaking good. All right, before we move on, I want to tell everybody about Mazda of Orland Park. I was there this week, Rick. I was driving to work, and my check engine light went on. I'm like, well, that's strange. So I'm called them up and said, hey, can you get me in? They're like, yep, head on over. We'll get you right in right away. It was an optional day. I was going to go cover practice.
Okay.
So I'm like, screw it. I'll just turn around and get this taken care of. I need a new water valve. So took care of it. Free of charge. Nice. No problem at all. Went in there. They got it done nice and quick for me. Walked out without handing them my credit card or anything. Just great total communication the whole time. Here's what's going on. If it's not covered, this is what the cost would be. So we're not going to do anything until we tell you, which it's great. I never feel like I'm getting, tricked or duped from the people at Mazda of Orland Park. And it's great. So love both of my Mazdas. Great experiences with both cars, but the service experience at Mazda of Orland Park is what puts them over the top. Go check them out. 8910 West 159th Street, MazdaofOrlandPark.com.
Okay. So we talked about how the Patio should be revered more. A place that probably can't be revered anymore around these parts is the Jewels.
Oh, right.
And Qdoba. So there was a revelation sent to us on Twitter from at CD44_. This rocked my world a little bit to see in the bakery case, like the cool case at the Jewels, Baker's Square pies. Now this could be just the French silk, which, oh no, not just the French silk. But if this is going to be a thing now, pies from Baker Square at the Jewels, Jay,
Yeah.
I might hit 4 spins at some point. Like, this is going to be a problem. Like, this is like this is it's fantastic, especially because I think the closest Baker Square to me is like Woodridge.
Yeah.
But to have one, if this is at every Jewels, this is a huge deal. If this is just whatever specific Jewels that guy goes to, or that person goes to, then I will be very disappointed if it is not also my Jewels.
I'd be surprised if it's not every Jewel. Like that is a concerted effort to make Baker Square pie.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm looking here. I do think that it's because I'm looking at the picture. I can like zoom in on it. Mm-hmm. The only 2 in the area are both French silk.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Like if you're going to carry just one, that's the one you carry.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best one. So
yeah,
I will look at mine. You look at yours, and we'll report back. I know that is your like favorite dessert
too. Yep.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if you see it, and I'll let you know too. Okay. And because I know my mom would love that. That'd be one of the 3 things she eats now.
Yeah.
She eats the raspberry Danish, but only one particular raspberry Danish, cheese popcorn, and now hopefully Baker Square pie.
Lovely.
It's great. Yeah, it's really
All
good.
Right.
Oh, and fillet of fish.
I have one more thing before we hit Ask a Fats. Obviously didn't do Donut Sunday this Sunday because it's before the Bears game. It's the morning. We're doing the podcast. But last Sunday, tried something different. Didn't realize this is part of... So there's these new gas stations around like Ricky Rockets. Something like that. Mm-hmm. So I guess in all of those, there is a Joe Donut. Heard good things. This, if you're watching on the YouTubes, is the result of going to Joe Donut. On the top row, you have a chocolate-covered old-fashioned.
Win.
Yes. Then in the middle, you have a s'more donut.
Ooh.
So like cake donut, chocolate with like the yellow marshmallow, and it's actually marshmallow. It's burned, and you have the graham cracker in there. Tastes just like a s'more. It is really, really good. You've got strawberry right there, cinnamon sugar, chocolate long john, and in the middle on the bottom was my favorite. That is a blueberry lemon crumble.
Ooh.
So like lemon donut with blueberry jelly on top. And there's like little holes with a little bit of that jelly in there too. Dude, it was one of the best donuts I've had.
Damn.
It was fantastic. Sam isn't even the biggest fan of like jelly or anything like that with her donuts, which yellow flag at a minimum, but still we'll proceed. And she was like, oh, this is a thing. This is absolutely a thing. I'm telling you, with the glaze on it too, it was incredible. Like the consistency that you want. I mean, the lemon within the donut is not muted, but it's also not like, when there's like too much lemon, it's not that. It's like the right balance of lemon to meet that blueberry. And it was incredible. It's one of, if not the best donut that I've tried so far.
Oof, damn. That looks so good. There is one of those in, I guess that would be either Alsip or Palos Heights.
Okay.
That looks like they might have one, but there's something in there that's maybe it's like a barbecue place or something. There's something
Yeah.
that's advertised on the like exterior of the building and not a donut shop, but who knows?
So yeah, so I don't know if that's just like certain locations at the donut shop, certain locations are other things, but if you just search Joe Donut, I think a few locations show up.
Okay. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, so that's something that people can check out, see if there's one in their area. But this one was at 1221 Rowling Road in Itasca.
Okay.
It was awesome.
That sounds good. I'm now forgetting. There we go. Okay, a couple weeks ago I talked about the Donut Foundry in St. John, the one that was by like where Addie's pitching lesson was. Mm-hmm. So she had pitching a couple weeks ago, so I took her. And I have to just hang out there because it's like 35 minutes from home, so I'm not going to go home and then come back.
Sure.
So I went in there just to grab like a coffee, and I was going to get a donut for me and a donut for her, and it was like 7:30 at night, and I'm like, all right, 2 donuts and coffee. She's like, well, we're about to close, so like just let me know what you want. I was like, what? So
yeah,
I got she gave me like 8 donuts for free because she's like, if we don't sell these, I have to throw them out. They were all really good. I had one that was like, it was like their equivalent of the Cookie Monster, where it was like a cake donut with blue frosting, and then in the middle, like in the hole, was like a dollop of cookie dough. Okay. Like a significantly sized dollop of cookie dough, like enough to fill the hole. That was great. Did a lot of the other ones were like very typical, like apple fritter, old fashioned. I know we did like an Oreo one, and they were all wonderful. So it's actually inside the Recharge Coffee Company, which is, I believe this is the right one. There's a few of them. 14817 101st Avenue. Oh no, that's the Dyer one. Damn it. Hang on, I'm trying to find the right one. But yeah, it must be Dyer. Like Dyer and St. John are right there. So yeah, 14817 101st Avenue. So there's the donut place is inside the Recharge Coffee. And they're great, and they gave me free stuff, and I had them before, and they were great too. But it was just really nice. Like she certainly could have charged me,
sure.
But she's like, They were like all on top of she had like emptied the case, and everything was just on top of the case. She's like, just point at what you want, and I'll fill up a box, and you can just take it because either way, I'm throwing them out. So very cool. Those little things, man, they go a long way. You know, because now next time I'm there, I'm definitely going to stop in again because I appreciated that.
Yeah.
All right. Is it time to ask the fats finally?
Oh, it is.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
Somehow, no voicemails this week, despite not doing a show for 2 weeks, which kind of triggers me to say, perhaps I should check that the voicemail system is working. I'll do that after the show. If you want to leave us one, 708-858-3314, or you can email us, imfatpod@gmail.com. And as always, Ask a Fat is brought to you by our buddy, Charlie the Bacon Guy. And yes, Rick, I did include and produce up Charlie's segment whilst podcasting.
Nice.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, ranch, and French toast bacons. Bacon jams are the original, the bourbon, and the pineapple. I'm going to R&D that spicy bacon jam and see if we can't make it part of our normal repertoire moving forward. Up next for flavors, we're going to have rosemary, jardinera, and a new and improved Old Bay recipe.
Oh.
I think I finally figured it out, and I know you'll love it. Some R&D that's coming up this week. The bacon crackers will be tested and sampled, so you'll get to see that. Keep your eye out. And then also bacon cinnamon rolls. We're going to take cooked bacon, roll it in the cinnamon roll dough, and then bake those off so you get a little bit of sweet and savory together. Haven't decided on a topping or an icing just yet, but again, that's what this is for. If anybody's in the area and I've got a couple extra, order some bacon. Maybe you'll get some R&D bacon stuff to go with your order. Until next time, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
All right, so since he sent that, he has made these bacon rolls. And if you're watching on YouTube, bacon cinnamon rolls, you see there the raw dough with the bacon inside the crevices. And there they are, completed. But Rick, they're not completed because at the very end, he put bacon jam on top.
There you go.
It
That's that. See, I can't do things with my hands now because I just swiped down onto the cord for my earbuds and almost took out the board.
Hey, you know what? It was worth
That would
it.
have been fun. Those look incredible.
Those are no way those are bad.
No.
Well, get yourself some bacon from Charlie. Here's how: charliethebaconguy@gmail.com, Instagram @charliethebaconguy, Twitter @czthebaconguy. He's got a website coming soon, very, very soon. I know he's been in contact with our buddy Mark Fishman about getting that website done, so it should be done soon. Let's go, Mark. Jeez. You don't get a beep till the website's done. How about that? Anyway. Check out Mark's work at imfatmerch.com. Get your bacon from Charlie. It's great. You're going to love it. We promise. And like we say all the time, it lasts forever. So order a lot, throw it in your freezer, lasts in your fridge for a couple months. So you're good to go. Everything's vacuum sealed. Everything's delicious. You're going to love it. The Jardiniere is my favorite, bar none. The French toast is excellent. It's not overly sweet. It's just kind of a subtle sweetness to it. Mm-hmm. Really great if you're having any sort of sweet breakfast item. Wonderful. It's all great. Jump on it. Get it. It's terrific. Okay. Emails. Ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, I'm going to start with the long one here. This one comes from Pablo. He says, hello, fellow fats. Just wanted to comment on two of the ongoing topics of discussion for the pod recently. Rick's donut hunt. Be careful pronouncing that one. And Jay's quest to find food near his place of business. I'll also throw in a sidebar with fats and AI. Firstly, regarding donuts, it's off the beaten path, but you absolutely have to try D&D's place on 83rd and Kedzie. They have the best glazed donuts you will ever have, and they are probably the best donuts in the Midwest, if not the country. Damn!
Wow.
They've won multiple awards and have this fat making the pilgrimage from University Village to the South Side as often as I can. They're cash only, but well worth the trip. Maybe you can pick some up on the way to visit Jay. Yes, I'm also not far from there, so I can hit that up too. Secondly, Jay, I know you frequented 18th Street, but I've yet to hear you say you've made it to Ruby's Tacos on 18th and Ada. They have some of the best tacos you'll ever have. Charcoal grilled El Pastor on a vertical spit. Yes, nopales and okay, this I can't say. Huitlacoche? Corn mushrooms, he says. Yeah. If you're feeling adventurous. And the biggest damn bowl of pozole on Tuesdays only. I've been visiting them since Thursdays only, I can read. I've been visiting them since they were a weekly stand at the Sunday Maxwell Street Market, and the tacos can't be missed. They are a bit pricey, but I guarantee you the tacos are twice the size of what you get in a regular taqueria, and the tortillas are made fresh to order for each taco. Oh my God. Ooh. As an added bonus, I saw my old neighborhood on Taylor Street recently added a Jersey Mike's down the street from the old Conte de Sovia, as well as Mr. Greek Gyros across from the aforementioned Jersey Mike's. All three options should be easily accessible on your route to work. Finally, I stopped off at the last Checkers in the city at 55th and the Dan Ryan, and my order in the drive-thru speaker was taken by an AI system. It was weird because the voice was not what I used to hear at drive-thrus on the south side, and aside from getting my drink order wrong, I ordered a Diet Coke, but the AI said Sprite. I've yet to experience another AI ordering system like it, and was wondering if you had any similar experience. This Checkers might also be a good option for Jay on the way to work, as it's worth it for the fries. So I have not had another AI experience like that. I even know McDonald's tried it for a while.
Yeah, and then they bailed.
The one in Pullman, which I used to go to way more often, but haven't been to probably in 2 years, had it. But they also had someone outside that you could like opt to order with someone outside.
Okay.
And then they were like, give you a survey. Like, did you enjoy that? And I was always like, no. I want to talk to a person. Yeah. But I'll check that out. There is a Checkers near me, actually. I take Dixie Highway to get on 57, and there's one right at Dixie and 147th Street. So I'm very close to I drive by a Checkers every day, and it's good. They've got fry seasoned tenders. You know the seasoning at the fry seasoning at Checkers.
I've heard. I've still never had Checkers.
Oh, well, you don't really have one near you, but it is like a spicy double fry.
Yeah, like I feel like it would be up there for me in my fast food fry rankings.
Oh,
if I could get to one.
I would honestly say their fries are probably what's keeping them in business.
Okay.
Like the rest of it's good, not
Fine.
great.
Yeah.
It's fine, but the fries are awesome. And they have these
Okay.
chicken tenders that are now seasoned with the fry seasoning, which are pretty solid. So
Okay.
I can recommend those. As for 18th Street, I'm aware of the Jersey Mike's. They also just opened an Insomnia Cookies there, which is great. I will check out the other places. Thank you. Ruby's Taco sounds really good. I love the spit.
Yes.
Anything on a spit is delicious.
Yes.
My column.
Okay. This one's from Dave. Hi, guys. Heard you mention Jewel Wings on this week's pod. I agree they're solid and a good value. Fun fact, they have a special called Wing Fridays or something like that, where the 2.5 bucket of wings is reduced to $9.99.
Damn.
On occasion, I've gone there on a Friday and gotten 2 tubs and snacked on them all weekend. I think I counted once. I got 40 wings in that bucket for $9.99, which is crazy cheap.
That's
I
really
assume
cheap.
the deal is available at all the Jewels, not just mine, but not sure. Enjoy, Dave.
Yes, I know. I actually noticed it because it's called Cheap Chicken.
Okay.
Whatever day, and
Did
it's
you
like-
almost choke on your prime there?
Yes, and it's cheap like CHEEP, like the sound a chicken makes.
Oh, I see what
but
they did there.
$9.99 for 2.5 pounds of wings.
Yeah.
And they are tiny. They're like little drummies,
Sure.
but they're delicious. Okay, something to keep an eye on. Thank you. I will pay closer attention next time. This one comes from our guy Ramblin' Grimace. Says your recent discussion of pies at McDonald's got me thinking of my personal list of favorites they've done. So here's my all-time top 10, excluding Apple, since it's been a fixture for like 50 years and remains high quality. Do you know they use like 4 kinds of apples for those? I did not. Tell your listeners to ask McDonald's to bring back all 10 of these. Okay. Number 10, lemon. Number 9, cherry. Number 8, strawberry and cream. Number 7, banana cream. Number 6, coconut pie. Number 5, Oreo cookies and cream pie. Number 4, pumpkin and cream pie. Number 3, holiday pie. Number 2, choco banana pie. Number 1, blueberry and cream. Those all sound good except coconut.
Yeah, I'm out on the coconut. I don't know that I'd be in for banana cream.
I love banana
Just
cream.
in general. I can do banana if it's not the feature part or something.
Okay.
Banana's just fine.
I love
But the
banana.
rest of those sound awesome. But I have not I don't frequent McDonald's enough to have experienced the other ones.
Yeah, the only
So
one
I
I've ever
can't
had is that
Yeah.
one, the Oreo one.
Right, because you're a flawed human.
Oh.
Imagine going to McDonald's that many times and never having had the apple pie. Like, I've had it plenty of times, and I've gone to McDonald's maybe 1/10 of the times that you have.
I just think that, so the way my mind works is when I want McDonald's, I want something savory. If I
Sure.
want something sweet, I'm going to get something else.
Okay. It's
All
fair.
right. I admit I'm flawed. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. All right. This one is from Michael Johnson, who is still running with those gold shoes on from the 96 Olympics. That was his name, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Good morning, Fats. Sunday, I made the first pot of chili for the season. Congrats. I happened to have some leftover Charlie the Bacon Guy bacon, maple pepper, and cut it up into the chili, and holy cow, what an enhancer that was. Rarely do I have leftover bacon, and I usually just throw a spoonful of bacon grease in the chili, but the actual bits of bacon is a game changer. Highly recommended. Have always loved the pod, and keep up the good work.
Thank you for that. I do have Charlie's chili recipe. And as soon as it actually gets cold, I will
how
make
about
some.
it?
God. Bullshit. Okay.
In the 60s. Like 60s
Yes.
is the high.
Give me hoodie and shorts weather.
Yeah.
That's all I need. All right, last one here comes from Dave. He says, hey guys, churros are among my favorite treats,
Same.
and so is nothing bunt cakes. I just got a promotional email from them announcing a churro bunt cake. It looks to be oozing caramel from the middle. I'll get one this week and let you know how it is. Do you guys like churros? Yes. If so, what's your favorite spot in the city for them? I like Don Churro in Pilsen. That is from Dave. Rick, you have a favorite churro spot?
I feel like the only place I've ever gotten them is at a ballpark.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
my favorite is Sox Park.
Yeah, guaranteed rate field has great. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yes. So Dave sent a picture from Nothing Bundt Cakes. Churro Dulce de Leche Buntlets. And there is Dulce de Leche caramel in the middle. That ends October 8th. So that is a week from today. So it's next Sunday. So you got all week to get to Nothing Bundt Cakes. By the way, shout out to Nothing Bundt Cakes. The first time I saw that place, me and Hope were like, the place only sells bundt cakes.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, you'll be closed in a week. Then I had one. Holy shit. They're amazing. If you seriously, I think most people have had it.
Yes.
But the best part too is like you can walk in and get a cake. Like a giant ready to go bundt cake. Like I did it for my mom's birthday. They have a white chocolate raspberry, which to me is the king of the Nothing Bundt Cakes. The lemon is delicious. And then of course all the like super sweet like chocolate. They had an Oreo one for a while that was great.
Nice.
Like Nothing Bundt Cakes is awesome and pretty affordable. I think that big cake is like $25. That's not that bad. No. So anyway, that was it. That's the show. But I want to make sure everybody knows. I just got as we were recording, got the email from TeePublic about sale dates for I'mFatMerch.com. 35% off October 12th through 15th.
Okay.
And October 26th through 29th. So those are the sale dates for now for the month of October. So put a reminder in your phone, October 12th through 15th and October 26th through 29th. Classic tees are $15. You get up to 35% off everything else. These sales happen all the time, but these are the shirts for now. So yeah, head to I'mFatMerch.com to purchase. And again, congrats to our winners, Max and Lewis, for being our YouTube subscribers to get us over 1,000 subscribers. We get the second condition is we have to get over 4,000 hours, but we're right there. So try to watch a video or two this week to help us out, and we should get there very, very quickly.
That's awesome. And also, we're leading up to the holidays, so if you want to get ahead a little bit, one of these sales, just knock out a present for whichever holiday you're celebrating. That's a good way to try and get a step ahead. Follow us on all of our social media at I'mFatPod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com. Check out the Patreon, Spotify if you like. Jay just mentioned why you should be going to I'mFatMerch.com, and also just to admire the designs. Get something. It doesn't even have to be a shirt. Like, you can get anything. Like, you can get these logos on, coffee cups on, whatever it is that you like. There's all that stuff available. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Subscribe. Maybe if you're doing something else, even if you don't want to watch the podcast, but you want to help us out with those hours, you know what you do? You hit play, mute it, and then not look at the tab, and you can keep doing everything else you're doing, and you help us out. Or you just watch us. That works too. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed to help us out there. And one of the better things you can do for us is leave a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts. And check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing, where I want to taste that autumnal beer. So for Jay, I'm Rick, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
Mustard's acid yellow.
Oh, God, I butchered that one. I'm leaving it.
100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
I'm playing them both.
Mustard's acid yellow dressing. Relish, verdant, green, so vibrant. Onions, tomatoes, cucumbers cut into vegetables refinement.
All right, show's over. Bye.